I'm going to throw more conspiracy into this whole thing. It is so convenient that this is happening at the beginning of the month. After everything we've seen, I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I want you to hear this. After everything we've seen, I already doubt her story drastically. But one thing you need to know about the beginning of the month is that TikTok, from my experience, has a limited fund for their creator monetization program that goes month by month. So they have a certain pool of money every month. By the third week, that money's dried up. So your RPM drops to about, I'm going to say, a fifth of it was in the beginning of the month. It's very convenient to me that this started in the beginning of the month, right when the money was abundant and everywhere. All right, let's do this Vegan Riz thing. Isn't that her name? The Vegan Riz person? She's like kind of obnoxious. Anyway, we've covered her a couple times before. Apparently there's something new where it goes a little too far. Somebody sent me this video about her. It's TikToker faces huge backlash after scam accusations, and it's from Marky. He's a pretty solid content creator. Yeah, Adrielle Sigler. Yeah, this is the person. Listen, let's be like real before we get into this video. It's constant attention and rage baiting and begging for okay, and begging for attention. That's really what it comes down to. There are a lot of content creators who will do this. They will do attention baiting and attention seeking and let's be clear, because we're all seeking attention. That's true, right? Like, I want attention. I want you to see my videos. I want you to see my content. I want to entertain you guys. I want to make money. Okay. But there is a difference between producing your content and then trying to get it out there versus like rage baiting. That's literally all it is, right? She's a rage baiter. She's constantly going around being annoying, just being incredibly annoying, and she's basically harassed. I remember when she was like harassing the Target or whatever, because they wouldn't give her a refund or just something. It was stupid. But anyway, let's get this started. If you guys, if any moment in the video resonates with you, a little timestamp below, funny, smart, entertaining in every capacity, let me know. It helps me a lot. I appreciate it. Let's go.
600-pound life.
Whoa!
Right, so today's video is a little blast from the past.
Whoa, that's a little too fast, brother. What are you, the speedster?
Right, so today's video is a little blast from the past because we're actually revisiting a creator we spoke about quite a while ago at this point. And to be more specific,
You want me to go back to the Vegan Riz sticking out her gat? Is that what you want me to do?
the person we're talking about is actually Vegan Riz, a TikToker called Adrielle Sigler,
You want me to show you the sticking out your gat, dude?
I believe, with about 800,000 followers. Now, if you're hearing that name and you sat there like, okay, right, I do remember that name, but
I remember because she would constantly brag about how attractive she was, and she seems like the kind of girl that, like, she was like the pretty girl in high school, and then she just kind of went downhill.
I'm not exactly sure why. Let me just refresh your memory dead quick. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people have previously spoke about Vegan Riz, but one in particular that went big about 5 months ago at this point was when Vegan Riz was filming in a coffee shop. She was then asked to stop filming in a coffee shop, and then she proceeded to try and sue them for, like, defamation or something like that.
Oh, we must have missed that one. We must have missed that one because it's like it's just all the rage bait. I guess we're coming back and checking all this out just for a little fun.
Vegan Riz is still upset they asked her not to film. So what's she
Well, yeah, you have every right to say don't film in like in your building. It's fine.
gonna do now?
I'm going to file a lawsuit.
So she calls in a
She's not going to file a lawsuit. She doesn't have the money to file a lawsuit. There's just no way, and she knows that she would. And no lawyer would take the lawsuit either. They would tell her that she's an idiot.
attorney.
I have a question about my legal standing.
But they don't answer and she's got to leave a message. Now, what does she plan on?
Yeah, she probably uses the same attorney to harass every single time she wants to sue somebody for something completely unreasonable.
Suing the coffee shop over? Discrimination.
Since I am an attractive woman.
Discriminate.
Just be clear, it's okay to discriminate. I just want people to know it's okay to discriminate against people. You just can't discriminate against people based on some kind of like particular characteristic, generally speaking, right? So you can't say you can't be in here because you're a woman, but you can say you can't be in here because you're filming. All right. Although you can't, and even nowadays, you can't even keep boys out of the girls' locker room. I'm just kidding. No, but you're allowed to discriminate. Like, generally speaking, you don't let boys in the girls' locker room. You don't let girls in the boys' locker room. You don't let older people wander around a fucking elementary school. There's discrimination everywhere. It's just like there's discrimination, generally speaking, based on some kind of protected status in some capacity. So
It bothers you. And that's sexism.
And Vegan Riz is not playing around.
I'm getting such a big boner from seeing this girl. She can't be here anymore, dude.
Because I'm a young, attractive
Over 2.
female. Just because
1 for 3.
I'm a young, attractive female, it drives them crazy.
Yes,
Bro, she's like 34. And you know what? If she was a nicer person, she would be cute. You know what I mean? But there's people who are attractive in general, but their personality is the defining factor of whether or not you find them like truly attractive. So if you're looking at a person, and then she's one of them where you look and you're like, oh, she's kind of cute, but they're like, oh, just a really this nasty, annoying person that's desperately looking for attention through rage baiting on the internet, you're gonna be like, yeah, she's not attractive. You lose your attractiveness level. Like, that's a huge part of this. Thank you so much, Jack Esposito, for the $10. Hey, Pop, I just kicked out a pervert out of the store for sexually harassing my coworker. Oh my God, your stories are crazy, bro. I always thinking about how Jesus Christ asked John the Beloved to protect Mama Maria after his crucifixion. All right, incredible stuff. By the way, that is discrimination against the pervert, but it's justifiable discrimination. Dude, you got like a crazy story every time you come in here. God bless.
So her big thing was that she was going to sue them for discrimination because she's a young, attractive female. That was her reasoning. Which is obviously an insane reason to try and sue someone for. I don't have to explain that to you. But there's also a bunch more stuff of like Adrielle like begging for money a lot from her followers.
Yeah, because she's got no money.
For like reasons that people believe she shouldn't be begging for money for. It also seems like she posts a bunch of like
L plus poor. You know what I mean?
Rage bait content constantly, just trying to get people angry.
Yeah, and people are getting desensitized to it too. It's like if all you're doing is posting rage bait every day, people are like, they start to get fatigued from it. They're like, okay, like specifically that person, because especially since they realize you're not being genuine and it's just helping you in some capacity, and they just get bored of it.
Maybe it's not rage bait. Maybe that's genuinely just her opinions. It's a bit worrying if it is. But recently, there's been a really big topic going around TikTok where people have many, many different opinions. Where Adrielle,
it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of people who will use the internet in a way where they're like, I don't really care because it's just online. And there's a level of truth to that, but the internet is becoming more and more of the world every single day. And especially since we just covered that thing where you saw like red pill content creators, there's government grants given to like some organization to try to take them down. You're seeing that it's all bleeding together, and you can't necessarily just escape the internet world by going into the real world. Is the point I'm trying to make. And so Adrielle Singler or whatever is one of those types of people who I think that she probably was just like, oh, I'm going to rage bait for money and attention. It's not going to matter. It's not going to go anywhere, and then it goes somewhere. And now as time goes on, it's going to start going places. It's going to start impacting her real life,
Adrielle has been talking about a situation that her son was in. Now, I don't really want to stick with the situation specifically on what happened because it's really sad.
Whoa,
long story short, basically, her son ended up getting like beat up by other people in his school.
Maybe because his mom is so hot. Oh, no.
She claims that he was jumped. The school and like other people involved, like the children's like sisters and mothers who came forward and said that he didn't get jumped. It's actually for a much more serious reason. It's like an arranged fight as well. The much more serious reasons.
So it was like the kids fighting. Okay, so she has a GoFundMe. All right, I mean that sucks. I mean I'm a kid that got into fights, so that sucks. Is this it? Emergency money for safety. Emergency move for safety. She's up for $4,000. $5 from you are a lying bitch. This is fucking hilarious. Our lives have become at risk living in Jamestown, New York. We have to move as soon as possible. My son was brutally assaulted May 2nd, 2024. Please help us move out as soon as possible. It's a little interesting that you're talking about how much in danger you are, and it's like you said where you live. It just seems interesting. Is this supposed to be the kid? Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you're going to have to go through the police. I don't know. It's hard to... I mean, this is the thing. Even if this is genuine, like how... This fundraiser is no... Oh, God. The fundraiser is near me. I live very near Jamestown, apparently. I've never heard of Jamestown, by the way. I'm Papa's town. Pound town. But okay. I don't know. I have a hard time believing it.
I'm referring to here is that there's like really serious allegations like with essay and stuff against her son, but like I said, I don't want to go into it because I don't know what's true, right? And I don't want to put down people. I'm just saying what other people in the situation have said. But it will make sense why I have to mention this situation because it ties into the whole like begging money stuff and the way she's kind of like...
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the kid got beat up, I wouldn't doubt. Like, there's like a 50% chance that it was because of the mom. and her mom being a shitty person. That doesn't justify it, but I'm just saying I just went off on a whole tangent about how people think the online world stays online. It's what bleeds more and more into everybody's lives every single day. It was just online videos claiming that Dan Schneider was a creep. Now there are documentaries from like legitimate studios on legitimate like streaming platforms about these things. You don't escape this anymore. It's become very mainstream, and I think that she thinks she can just kind of check out once she's done rage baiting for money on the internet. But I wouldn't doubt that it was an influence in that when it came to the kid getting beat up. That sounds like really horrible. I'm sorry if it sounds insensitive. The kid never should get beat up. I'm just saying, your actions can have consequences, and I am just making an assumption, but, carry yourself with a little bit more dignity and grace is the point that I'm making.
Acted since this that people seem to be like really annoyed about. So the first video I can find of Adriel talking about this is this one in particular, where she goes on to show one of the kids' faces.
It's also worth mentioning, as it was a big topic in the comments response videos, she also showed the faces of multiple children and said their full names. Okay. Incredible stuff. All right. I mean, listen, if this actually did happen, I could, it's not right what she did, but I can understand it. But again, I'm not fully convinced that it's real because she's a rage baiter.
This is who's involved in this fight. And then she actually says that, her son nearly lost his life because of this.
My son has a chipped tooth now because of this kid right here. This is where my son was assaulted and almost lost his life. I thought they were in that new splash pad. They were actually right here.
It's like a place in the woods, man. We used to have a place in the woods too, where we just kind of go and hang out, into old days.
In a very old swimming pool that once existed in the 1950s.
Okay, so she shows the location. In other videos, she also shows parts of the videos that are around of this fight. Obviously, not going to show that for very obvious reasons. But what I will
it seems so interesting that you would say that you're afraid for your, I don't know, you're afraid for your life, but you're going around town showing off your entire town, your entire area, and giving people the general gist of where you live. I mean, I guess if her argument is that it's from other kids, then that's not true. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wonder what the real story is, because I was a young kid and I would get into fights, and I'm wondering was this something where he got jumped by a bunch of kids and almost got beat up and killed, or was this and I'm not trying to be the boys will be boys, but two young boys that are angry, and they decide yeah, let's fight at the old Roman bathhouse swimming pool, and they start fighting each other. I don't know. And it's so hard because, we have her being an unreliable narrator in her own life, but then we also have the kid. And let's be absolutely real. And again, this could be more serious than I'm saying, but I'm just saying, again, we have the factor that she has no credibility left. Is that the kid comes home, got the shit beat out of them. What happened? I got jumped at school. And then it starts to spiral and turn into this whole thing, right? A lot of times kids aren't going to be honest. They don't want to get in trouble. So it's I don't know. Or maybe there was supposed to be a one-on-one and other kids jumped in. I have no idea. I've gotten the shit beaten out of me. I've beaten the shit out of people. I'm not proud of myself, but I wonder, I don't know what the story is, because if they're all mutually fighting, I don't care as much. Your kid got a couple of licks, and then hopefully the school does something about it, or at least keeps an eye on these interactions, and then move forward.
I will mention is, and this is another reason.
But I wonder. I know I'm rambling a lot, but I have a lot of thoughts. I wonder if part of the factor is that she's oh, you know what? I'm going to, and I would not doubt this at all. You know what? I'm going to create a narrative around this to get these kids harassed. Because if she showed the names and the faces of them, again, I can understand a hysterical parent, especially a mother. Sorry. I can understand a hysterical parent being this is outrageous. I don't feel like the school's doing enough, and acting inappropriately, that's what this is, by showing the faces and saying the names. Or she's using that perception as a shield to be let me give the names and the faces of these kids. I hope my followers look into them, and I hope my followers harass them. I don't know. I don't know.
Reason why people are really annoyed at Adriel over the situation is that seemingly the situation changed from he nearly lost his life to he has minor head injuries.
My son does not want to be on camera. He does not want to talk much about.
I am shocked that there is a boundary that was set here and it was respected. I'm gonna be real with you with this fucking Vegan Riz person. The fact that she's respecting her son's boundary is actually shocking to me, because she respects no other person's boundary. This is the first shred of humanity I've seen of this content creator, by actually respecting her kid's boundary of not wanting to be on camera, because she is just such a not good person, constantly pushing boundaries everywhere that she goes, trying to film everywhere, trying to harass people, trying to rage bait people into getting into confrontations with her. her so she could pretend to call a lawyer or actually call a lawyer pretending she has a case even though she has no justifier for anything.
About this. He is suffering through a minor head injury right now.
Well, he is a kid. I get it. A minor head injury.
And I just... Do you have anything to say to the audience watching these videos following this story?
Yeah, so
just to be clear, him having a minor head injury doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't like jumped or could have gotten killed, I guess. I don't know if that necessarily defeats that narrative. You know, he could be recovering from it. I don't even know. What is a head injury? Head injury could be a concussion, or it could just be a little scrape on the head. I don't know what the minor head injury means.
But like, as she just said right there, he doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't really want to say anything. She then proceeds to kind of like interview him in this
Yeah,
video.
because he's probably fucking embarrassed. Like, even if he did get jumped, probably fucking embarrassed that mom's blasting it on the internet. Now, everybody at school seeing this, right? Like, just to be clear, whether it's the right thing to do or not, or whether you're putting these videos on the internet. Like, she's putting these videos on the internet of her kid talking about how he was beat up, he was jumped, signal boosting, putting up the faces and the names of the other kids that supposedly jumped him. It could have just been a mutual fight for all we know. She's an unreliable person. And what do you think's happening? He's going to school, I'm assuming, and the kids are seeing all that. And they're bullying him for that. So he doesn't get to move on from this fight or potentially traumatic situation because of this. Again, go through the proper pathways, the police, the school, keep an eye on your kid, maybe pick them up from school more often. I don't know. There's different things that you can do. But this is just not, in my opinion, the right way to go. It sounds like you're going to get your kid more harassed.
Video. I'm not really going to show that because he clearly doesn't want to be on it. She was also recording TikToks in the hospital. A lot of the comments were saying like, why are you filming TikToks at this point? There's not a time to be recording videos.
That thing with the teeth at me.
This is not real tears. Just letting you know. I could tell.
So afraid. It's okay. I'm glad you're okay.
And yeah,
I just don't believe that that's real. It doesn't come off as genuine.
Either way, even if she did over-exaggerate the injuries, which, I mean, to be fair, if you're a mother and your son is, like, being beat up,
See?
You are going to worry, and you're going to think of, like, the extremes.
What did I say? What did I say? It's okay to have parental hysteria. And I did say specifically women, because I know women and men can be a little different. You know, if my wife would probably be a little more worked up over this than I would for my son. What I say, that might be true what he's saying, or she might know that that's what normal people think, and she might be weaponizing the empathy of people to engage in this situation, you know.
But yeah, regardless of if she did over exaggerate, because that seems to be what a lot of people are claiming here,
of course,
it is clearly still a horrific thing to happen to anybody.
Not really. Getting in fights at school isn't horrific. I'm just saying I wouldn't say horrific. We don't know the context, whether it's horrific or just like annoying bullshit.
Never mind a child. I obviously don't know the specifics of what happened, but we do have the school's response and what they claim had happened later on in the video. Now, another
the fucking shadow of a cat scared the hell out of me.
Reason why people have been criticizing Adriel over this, before we get to like the main thing here, is that she has made loads of videos about this, but in between these videos where she's clearly very upset about the situation, understandably so, she then will post like a video like this, for example.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler.
Just making OnlyFans. You know? Just do it. Just do it at this point. I would check it out for content purposes. What the fuck?
So scared.
I might go through all this stuff.
Why I put a 30,000.
She has a 10-minute video explaining why she did. I might actually watch that later and get more of the specifics. I might even timestamp the video.
So Phantom Tax, I just wanna be your Sigma.
Yeah, I don't even know how.
Wow, that was. There's a lot of these. This is a lot of her content. There is. I need money.
I created.
Then there is
a shirt made for
a shirt.
Victim shaming apply.
Then there's that.
My son is making food.
Okay, and then there's her, doing.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler.
She would probably claim that this is to make money for her kid, although this seems to come before. But it actually doesn't seem like she made any of the GAT video, or maybe she deleted them. I have no fucking idea. Whatever. Thank you for the 2-month small gut from Ghost Mikey. Tips for a creator to get a community like yours. You know what? Ask me after the segment's over, and if you're still hanging out here, I'll remember you and I'll give you some advice. All right?
How to explain what we just watched there. She then went on to respond to the people who came out and said that there was like a reason behind this fight with obviously very serious allegations, and she then went on to compare it to Sandy Hook.
Wow.
Son's assault, my 14-year-old son's assault, has become a Sandy Hook conspiracy theory.
I mean, yeah,
What?
you can clearly tell why people would be absolutely fuming with this comparison. It's a crazy thing to say.
Oh, she's posted this. Dude, there's so much of her posting about this fucking GoFundMe. This is actually insane. I don't even know if I'll even go through this.
She was then also posting more videos.
Like $2 from Buck Oven. Who is the Rizzler and why does he want that GAT? I don't know. It's a good question.
Genuinely, she posted, it looks like about 40 to 50 videos about this situation where she would put like scary TikTok music in the background.
The boys who brutally assaulted my son.
There's just no way. How many dude, she has so many videos.
Give me all your money.
My son being robbed caught on camera. Maybe it's a little more serious than I thought. I don't know. I have no idea. This is crazy.
Premeditated the assault.
Which is just a bit of an odd thing to do, right? Like, why are you putting the scary music in the background over a
I don't care about the scary music. I do care about
My
the
son
constant baiting for attention on here.
situation that's very serious. But yeah, as we can see by the screen right now, we can see that it says GoFundMe in the bio. Now, this is where a lot of the criticism has came in. Because as we can see right here, Adrielle has made a GoFundMe that she has mentioned in countless amounts of videos at this point, saying that she needs an emergency move for safety, and she's raising $30,000. Now, there's quite a few points that people are making about this specifically. First of all, being that $30,000 seems to be like way more than it actually costs to move to a different state. Second thing being that Adrielle constantly talks about in her videos how much money she makes. She's even made videos literally.
And if they're trying to jump this kid for money, it could have something to do with that. She has so many videos about this.
With the shoes. You almost killed my son.
She has so many videos about this.
My son has a chipped tooth now because of this.
Oh my god, she's posting dude, she actually has like 50 videos about this. This has gone to like unhinged levels here.
Just in April, so last month, saying that she'd spend $17,000 that month.
This month I spent close to $17,000. $17,000. I'm a single stay-at-home mom of 3, so I'm financially responsible for 3 little humans.
And yeah, obviously it is very expensive to look after.
Yeah, I understand that, but $17,000. She's spending most of that money fucking around. Let's be real. She's like probably buying food, going out and buying food every day instead of cooking for her kids. And it sounds like this might be her job. I have no idea. This is crazy.
To 3 people, right? Your 3 kids. But $17,000 is incredibly high. I mean, obviously, like most people in the world don't earn $17,000 to spend in a month. But then on top of that, as I briefly mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is something that Adrielle does a lot in her videos, is ask her audience for money. Like, here's an example right here where she made a GoFundMe.
Yeah, she constantly begs for money and attention.
To get braces for her son.
I created a GoFundMe for my son. I'm raising $5,700 for his braces.
So not only is this a very common thing, a lot of people are criticizing Adrielle.
It's very convenient for her that she doesn't post her kid's picture, and I get it. But then also, I mean, maybe that's why, because she doesn't want that to become something. Interesting. She changed the picture. So this happened on May 2nd.
Because she clearly makes a lot of money. She spends $17,000 in a month, and then she's making GoFundMes for things like braces. And then yet again, here's another example where she was raising money to buy a house.
Hi, Adrielle. You think it's appropriate, again, to ask all your followers to tip you so you can buy a house on TikTok because you're scared of someone in the basement? You already brag about how you make $20K a month. You already say how you get
maybe she made that like 1 month.
Food stamps and housing. You literally have a worry-free life from what I'm seeing.
So yeah, as you just heard in the video, there was apparently like a time where she was claiming that there was someone like in a basement or something. I don't really know what the conclusion of that was.
Yeah, if she's constantly asking for it's just, you know, it's unfortunate because it might be very true, that her kid got jumped and it's like a sad story. But I this is the thing, is like a good lie is rooted in some truth. So let's say he got jumped and she's deciding that she's going to create a narrative around it to beg for money and feel justified. And she's got like $4,000. People donate $4,000. It's crazy.
I don't think there was in the end, but I could be wrong. Also, this person claims that Adriel has said that she makes $20,000 a month. Again, you can see why people would be frustrated that she constantly asks for money. Also, on top of that, in a lot of her videos,
Well, that's how I guess she makes 20 a month.
she will just put like her Cash App on screen and like ask for donations, as we can see right there. So you get the gist.
I don't care about people asking for money. I'm a streamer. I never ask for money, but people giving money, like, guess whatever. That's there's a difference between asking for money versus like constantly putting up GoFundMes for reasons that are probably not justifiable. I mean, if you're gonna give her money, whatever, but it seems like there's a lot of disproportionate bullshit going on here.
Right, this is kind of something that she does quite a lot on TikTok. So from what I'm saying, this isn't me saying this, I'm just saying what the comments are saying. A lot of the comments are basically claiming that Adriel is using a situation with her son that is horrific, right? And she's using it as a way to get like a stupid amount of money. That's what a lot of people are claiming. Now, Adriel did upload a couple of videos where people from the school actually came to her home to speak.
How could she qualify for food stamps and rental assistance for $20K? If is that what she said? Did I miss something? Like, did I just like zone off?
About the situation.
What if she ordered the kids to jump to jump her kid? I don't know, man.
Where she was pretty aggressive. She ended up.
You know, it's also interesting is like honestly, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but like, what if she didn't even, her kid wasn't even jumped? She's just saying the kid was jumped. Like, how do we know that this isn't makeup? Like, I mean, we can't see the kid's face. I don't see any, like, these look like marks, but like, is there swelling? You know, that's, you know what I'm saying, dude? I don't know.
Deleting his videos.
Hi, okay, so I just want to say foremost, I am recording this entire interview. Second, my son...
Wait, she deleted this?
Situation where she was pretty aggressive. She ended up deleting his videos.
Hi, okay, so I just want to say foremost, I am recording this entire interview. Second, my son only has permission to answer yes or no questions without a lawyer present. Third, I will reiterate...
Are these the cops that she's talking to?
Sven's assault, and then show you the video footage that was forwarded to me.
Yep, that sounds good.
If you'd like to
Great.
say that the kitchen
The camera is going to be there if you don't prefer to be on camera. Mom, please don't talk until it's your turn to ask questions.
Yeah, also, there's like a big theme of her videos. She talks to her mom like shit, I can't lie. Like, I mean...
It sounds like, dude, with that there, okay, if you're in fear of your life, then you wouldn't have the mom of the kid that your kid got into a fight with come over your house. I don't know if I believe that. It sounds like your kid's got into a fight and now you're pretending that you're gonna fucking die and you want to move everything. This. I feel bad for her kid. Her kid is a huge. The kid's a victim.
I mean, we'll see more of it in this video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you like a glass of water?
No, we don't talk because we are busy.
Okay.
My son almost lost his life, so just emotions are high.
Okay.
I would leave. That one was a fucking nightmare. You know.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not really quite sure what my plan is for all of this. So I'm going to go back to my home base.
Yeah, so
Yep, perfect response. 100% perfect response. Listen, let's say, I don't know, it sounds like the kid's got into a fight. Even if the kid got jumped, this is like psychotic, the way that she's interacting with it. I'm not sure the kid even got jumped. Sounds like maybe a mutual fight. I don't really know. You know, the parents come over. It seems like they're trying to engage in good faith a little bit. She's not only recording, but she's being super, super, super on edge, super aggressive. It's okay to be worked up, but it goes beyond like a point. And again, we have no charity for her because she's such a lying fucking piece of shit. I would leave too. I'd be out. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, I'm out of here. Like there's something nefarious going on.
the teacher who did come to the house clearly feels very uncomfortable with everything that's happening with like, because she's obviously speaking pretty aggressively. She was recording and whatnot. She's being aggressive towards her mother. So the teacher was uncomfortable and decided to leave. But there's another video.
That was a teacher, okay.
And in this video in particular, it is apparently the principal and the resource officer that has showed up to her home.
Okay.
If you have any questions,
Wait, so who was the first person then? It was the teacher, and who was the girl? Another teacher?
I'm going to reiterate what happened, and then you can ask Sven yes or no questions.
Okay. So what I have here is a letter.
Okay.
This letter right here. So basically, in our investigation, okay, we interviewed many of the parties involved. And it's two things. What happened to Sven is terrible. And we are working within our code of conduct, and we are also working with law enforcement, okay, with regard to that. However, in our investigation, it was determined, which is why I kind of wanted to get Sven's side of things, but that the fight was prearranged.
Okay. So it sounds like, okay, let me keep listening.
That they met at the park to fight the other young man.
Okay, so as you
Okay, it sounds like it was just a fight. And this is a beautiful point. She is using her bullshit mama bear defense to not let her kid say his side of the story to this resource officer. Her mom and the teacher. That's what this seems like. So you're not having your kids sit down and talk to them and potentially give maybe an honest story or his recounting. So they can't use his information. Whoever else they interviewed was like, this was an arranged fight. We arranged to meet up here. It wasn't a jumping. I tend to believe that. We can't get his side of the story because she won't let him. Because, like, legally, she's the parent. She can prevent that kind of conversation, from my understanding, from happening. It sounds like it was a setup fight.
just heard right there, I don't know if this is the principal or the resource.
And also, the other kids could be lying. But the thing is she's not complying. She's a liar in herself, and she's not complying with the correct protocol to get this thing done correctly. She's trying to record everything, and then she's posting it on social media. And again, you might say, I understand the recording part, but the posting part makes no sense because we didn't get past a point of no return from what I'm seeing. They tried to talk to her, and they were sympathetic and empathetic to what's happening. It's not like they were being dismissive. They're just trying to get sides of the story. It's one thing to record for your own safety and the potential to release it if something like crazy happens. You're like, this is my only avenue, versus recording it to post it. It sounds like she's putting on a performance to record and to post.
Officer that's speaking, but they're saying that through their investigation they found out that it's prearranged. I assume there's probably like messages to prove that or something like that.
There might be.
Adriel doesn't seem to believe that.
Now, Sven, is that true? Yes or no? Did you consent to it? No. Did you? No. What was the premise of you?
Wow, this is beautiful. Really using your high school education there.
Outside, when you saw those group of people, were they being friendly and kind to you?
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
So in our
Great. So we got two questions. Listen, I mean, he could be telling the truth. We don't know. Mommy is fucking up his ass right now. She's already got to him, and she's already coached him on like a narrative. I don't really care about her kid. That sounds so shitty.
our investigation, it was determined that kids knew that Sven was aware of it, that it was predetermined, and that kids knew to come to it because they knew it was going to happen at the park, and so therefore that occurred. So he squared up with another student and got into a fight.
But yeah, the video
Yeah, so that's not getting jumped. Did other students attack him? I don't understand.
carries on where he's explaining more of the situation, more of kind of what we just heard right here, and then it seems like he just kind of gets to a point where he's just kind of done with the situation. We'll see that now.
Law enforcement also has this documentation right here. I went to the police department today. Sven had lots of dental work done.
Okay. You said you're trying to raise money for your kid's braces. So how do we know that that's because of the fight versus because he just has shitty teeth?
And Sven has been suspended.
Very sorry for this.
Sven has been suspended and punished for an incident that resulted in the fact he almost lost his life. These children who assaulted him.
He just walked away. He just walked away. You see him walking away.
In the fact he almost lost his life. These children
look.
who assaulted him.
He's out. She's reading to herself now. She's reading for the camera.
Call my office if you want to have a meeting with regard to what happened.
He's like over here.
Move forward, okay, when Sven returns. Thank you.
These kids are professional criminals. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay, and that's pretty much the end of the video, so you can make your own mind about what you think about that. Now, one of the girls who was there, who I believe is like 12.
Bro, she's manipulative. And listen, if this is all true, it's like a 1 in 100 chance because she's such a liar. But it sounds like she's manipulating. Her kid got his ass beat, and instead of just taking the L, going to the school, being like, what happened? We need to do something about this. How do we prevent that? That's what you do with the resource officer. She's turning into an online spectacle for money and attention. She's ruining her fucking kid's life.
12-year-old, her big sisters actually made like TikTok videos responding to all of this, claiming that because of these videos that Adriel has posted, they're starting to get like loads of threats. I mean, she shows this comment right here where someone's talking about her sister and says, "Jump her."
This is a threat? Jump her with 0 likes on it? Okay.
because someone else.
This video has like 10 views. Shut up. Listen, online harassment is a big deal, but people tell me, I made a fucking edgy joke the other day about Palestine, and there are people telling me to eat rocks now, like high school kids and college kids. Okay, and it's like, what do you like? First of all, be a little more aggressive. Tell me to take my life. Don't. It's not a good thing. You should never do that. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is weak. You know, this is freaking weak. You could do better than this. But I don't know, man. Like, grow up a little bit. That's my opinion. Be a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. Like, not every threat is meant to be taken like serious. These don't seem like, oh, jump her the fuck. That doesn't seem like a legitimate anything. I'll show you the video, guys. It's a good video. It's fun. I'll show you it on TikTok. It's doing numbers on TikTok. Not so much on YouTube. It's only doing 700 on YouTube, doing 200,000 on TikTok. It's underrated, by the way. It's an underrated video, okay? Active shooter, but if I die, that means no wing stop. Oh, okay. I would have picked something better, but... Okay. All right, well, I think I figured it out. We just need to put more wing stops in Gaza. Right, so people are upset about that. Now, by the way, I want to put more wing stops there to stop the violence. It's for real. Serious stuff, guys. You know, but not every threat is meant to be taken seriously.
In the comments said like they knew her. She also received messages from someone in her family saying, well, there's going to be more because someone just walked by her house threatening to burn it down. Like, clearly this has turned into like an incredibly disgusting situation.
I mean, maybe, or they're lying. I don't know. Like, you can't trust them.
It's bad all around.
Oh, shut up! Like, don't dude me. Shut the fuck up.
Like I said before, the situation itself, I don't know the specifics what happened, obviously, but clearly the big criticism from all of this has been the way that Adriel has responded to everything and is making like the GoFundMe and then like the like comedy videos in between, all these serious videos. People seem to believe it's really strange behavior. They don't understand why she's doing the stuff that she's doing. Obviously, the past stuff that she's done as well hasn't helped her with all of this. But yeah.
I mean, the past stuff is a consistent pattern. It develops a consistent pattern of her lying and debating for attention. Or at the very least, if she's serious about all of it, she is incredibly delusional, and you can't trust her interpretation of events on any situation. She's filming in a coffee shop, and they ask her to stop filming, and she thinks that she could sue. She's insane. She's a fucking idiot. She's disconnected. So clearly she has incorrect and disproportionate perspectives on particular things that are happening. This is one of those cases, right? That's your best case scenario. She believes what she's saying. I don't really believe that.
I mean, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And
suck my balls.
Video. More specifically from Adriel's side, that is kind of like the main point here. Like I said, the situation itself, we don't know exactly what happened because it's kind of just a load of stories coming from different people. But yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. Obviously, don't send messages to anybody.
Harass her. Don't do that. I'm just kidding.
Involved in this situation. That goes for all my videos. But I just wanted to make it very clear in this one specifically because clearly there are a lot of people on TikTok who are sending horrible messages. So obviously, don't do that. It goes without saying. And yeah, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.
All right, solid video. Yeah, no, listen, I don't feel the need to watch through her massive catalog. Like, listen, look at this catalog of videos starting at like May 2nd. All of this.
I am at the point in my life where other people my age.
I don't care. This is all videos before she claims that her son got assaulted.
I'm your TikTok crush. Send me a kiss.
Okay.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler. So scared.
I don't like this person at all.
When I get on my children and I have dealt with the police 5 times in under 2 months.
This doesn't seem like something that you should admit.
Because of TikTok trolls on the internet.
Yeah, okay.
I'm live, click the pink circle, doing my Monday night. My son had to stay after school. It is 5 o'clock. He's still not home. He had issues with Spanish class. He was going to stay after to finish an assignment and leave when it's done. It's 5 o'clock. I still have...
Bro, this sounds like her son's like, Mom, I have to stay late for a Spanish assignment so he can go fight. He knows that the fight's going on. This makes me believe that.
I heard from my son. He hasn't walked home. He hasn't called for a ride. I'm blowing up his phone.
Oh my God. This makes me feel like it absolutely is. He absolutely got into a planned fight. There's no way.
My son had to stay after school. It is 5 o'clock. He was going to stay after to finish an assignment and leave when it's done. It's 5 o'clock. I still haven't heard from my son. He hasn't walked home. He hasn't called for a ride. I'm blowing up his phone. I don't know where
he got his ass kicked.
Is. I called the school and no one answered. His phone goes to voicemail. So I called the school and they don't answer.
I mean, it's after school, so.
I think it's fucked up that if you have kids staying there after school, you should have your phones on at all times.
I think it's fucked up that you didn't make sure your kid was actually staying after school. Okay.
You should answer the phone for parents at all times. If there are kids in your building, you should have your phones ringing and someone should be answering those phones at all times.
He went to go fight after school and told mommy he's got to do a Spanish assignment.
So now I'm going to drive to the school and see if I can find him. I'm so sick of going through this. This is probably the worst school district I've ever had an experience with. This is Jamestown Public Schools.
How many times have you gone to these schools?
I'm in the school parking lot. I just got here. It's 5:05. This is terrifying. This lack of communication is just terrible. I didn't even know he was staying after today until I got a call from him. And then I called the school to confirm with the principal what was going on. I had a long talk with the principal. I really hope someone answers the door.
Wait, what? You confirmed with the principal that he was actually staying after? I find that hard to believe.
I don't know if they're going to answer the door. No one's in the office. If they keep kids after school, they should tell us when they're going home. He's only 14. No one's here. I don't know what else to do. I've exhausted my resources. I'm going to have to call the freaking cops. Like, I'm going to have to call the cops to find him. His phone is ringing. He's not answering. He always answers. Shit, I'm losing my...
This comes off as a little fake. I don't know.
I want to move out of the city. I fucking hate it here. He's not answering.
Do you like how before anything's happened, she wants to move out? This is before the fight has happened, or at least she doesn't know about it. I want to leave. This school district sucks. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. This video kills her entire narrative. Her son lied to her about how he had to stay late after school. And then she's already complaining that she hates the school district before she even knows that he got jumped, which seems like it was a mutual fight. She's been looking for an excuse to want to leave forever. This is absolutely a contribution to her narrative that I believe is false.
I'm going to run home and confirm he's not home. And if he's not home, I have to call the cops. I will keep you guys posted. I just pulled over. My son is calling me. Where are you?
I'm on that street by the old school.
Okay, but where are you okay?
No, I'm not fucking okay. Just pick me up.
What? Where are you? He hung up. Call 911. I'm on the way. What school are you by? Where are you?
I'm on the other side of the street. I'm on the street. That's...
What school? Jefferson or Rogers?
No, Rogers. Yeah,
okay, I will be right there. Call 911. I just got here and he's not here. I called 911. They said...
You like how she edited this video up? Like, did you notice this? This situation is apparently ongoing. Cut. You know she's recording the whole time, right? Like, you guys understand that. She's recording the whole time. Either one, she's recording the whole time, or two, she's stopping the recording and then starting it again to perform for the camera. What do you guys think? What do you think? Why would you post this the second that this happened?
They said they have no one available. Where are you? I'm at the school and you're not here.
I'm coming to you. Back up your car a little bit.
I had to hang up my call with 911 because they said they have no one available and I can't find my son.
Okay.
What happened? My son.
What happened? Guys, what happened? Comment and like below.
My son has a...
Comment and like below for what happened at this thing. Let's see what we get here. I gotta see. I'm fucking curious about some of this stuff.
My son has a chipped tooth now because of this kid right here. This is where my son was assaulted and almost lost his life. I thought they were in that new splash pad. They're actually right here in a very old swimming pool that once existed in the 1950s. And it was a very dangerous place to attack someone and jump someone. They're surrounded by woods. They led him down here. This boy did the most damage. This boy ran off with my son's new pair of Nike Jordans. This boy kept...
How do they have pictures of this? Where are you taking these pictures from? Your car?
Kicking my son while he was down and ripped off my son's gold chain. My son thinks they took the chain, but in the event it fell off his neck, I'm over here searching for it. I'm not finding the chain. My son almost lost his life. Right here. He almost lost his life today. And then he was threatened that if he tells anyone who these boys are, there were 9 of them. If this kid said, if you ever tell anyone who we are and what we did, we're coming for your house tonight.
I'm not understanding what's happening, to be clear. How did you get these pictures of these kids, and I don't understand. I'm so confused.
The 9 other boys. I drove around. I know who some of them are because my son goes to school with them and I saw them right here sitting on his porch. She slowed down. They sprinted. The minute they saw my car, they sprinted across the street, ran in the bushes. I followed them with my car. And then they finally slowed down and they said, "What?" Well, the one kept running because he had the shoes right up held to his chest. So he kept running because obviously I see the shoes. This kid got an attitude. What's going on? I said, you know exactly what's going on. Give me the shoes and give me his chain. Then they started to run. They ran. This one played it off longer than expected. He just was like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? It turns out he's the one who did the most damage to my son.
I have put this GoFundMe together. The link is...
Oh my God. She had the GoFundMe going.
I have put this
like immediately after this whole interaction is happening. This is insane.
GoFundMe together. The link is in my bio. Our lives are in danger. We have to move as soon as possible.
Remember, before she knew about any of this, she's already crying about how she hates that where she lives. And now she's looking to do a GoFundMe. This is insane.
I just paid my rent until September 1st.
So I'm paid up until the end of August, but I cannot stay here anymore. I am in a very serious situation. A situation I hope no one ever has to be in.
So just to be clear, where's your dad? Where's your kid? Your kid just got beat up, and you are making, you're making like tons of content that day in your car by yourself. What's happening?
A situation where our lives are being threatened, our house is being threatened to be broken into. I'm in a situation where a group of young boys, some were older teenagers who were in high school, some were like age 15, 16. They are waiting for my son. Some of the kids, there are 9 of them, will go to school with my son and they're threatening him in school. I have to pull my son out of school now and homeschool him. He was robbed.
Well, he's fucked then. Jesus.
He was brutally assaulted, and I need to move as soon as possible. I cannot give my new location away. I will also be working on internet sources that remove my address from all search engines. I'm putting a GoFundMe together. If you don't want to help, you don't have to. If it bothers you that I just want to be living somewhere safe, I don't know what else to do at this point. I just had my whole car fixed. I took my kids back to the summer shopping. I paid my rent for 4 months. I am now down to X amount of dollars. I'm not going to say
Why would you pay your rent for 4 months? What?
how much money I have left, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is not enough to move. And I don't even know if I get approved.
Why would you pay? Why would you prepay 4 months of your rent? What? That doesn't even make sense.
If I apply to rent somewhere, I don't want to stay in the state of New York because teenagers do not get arrested in this state. They walk the streets. It's terrifying here. So I'm going to move to a different state that holds children accountable for committing crimes.
Have you even talked to the cops yet? You're so busy making videos.
Such as threats to take someone's life, assault. I have to go back to the hospital now. I have a family member of my son in the emergency room with a police officer looking after him. They suggested I go back and look for that gold chain that may have been ripped off and thrown around in the pool, but it was not there. It was stolen. I just want to move as soon as possible because our lives are at risk.
Oh my God. Go be with your kids. I'm going to throw more conspiracy into this whole thing. It is so convenient that this is happening at the beginning of the month. After everything we've seen, I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I want you to hear this. After everything we've seen, I already doubt her story drastically. But one thing you need to know about the beginning of the month is that TikTok, from my experience, has a limited fund for their creator monetization program that goes month by month. So they have a certain pool of money every month. By the 3rd week, that money's dried up. So your RPM drops to about, I'm going to say, a fifth of it was in the beginning of the month. I'll have an RPM of like 1 point something, like $1 or something per, whatever. And by the end of the month, we're down to about 0.2. It's very convenient to me that this started in the beginning of the month, right when the money was tight, is beautiful, is abundant and everywhere. I know I might be a little conspiracy brained here, but with everything else, I would not doubt it. It's a very convenient time for this problem to happen.